Welcome to Octane Mobile Gaming. Welcome once again to the channel. I am Octane, your host, and today we're going to take a look at the deck which is out for the next Light Slayer event. Now the deck is an Immortal Killer, and I kind of like Immortal Killer decks because they've got so much boost available for Immortal Killer's deck. I'm gonna jump right in with the ultimate form, which I managed to craft because I went up to tier 6. I got the ultra rare on tier 4, and I just continued until tier 6 to get the guaranteed master collection card. I could have crafted the master collection card, but I decided not to, primarily because at the end of the event I will be able to craft the ultimate form for next week's event. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to go up to tier 6 and spend the gems to go up to tier 6, because next week I would have spent the gems anyway to get the ultimate form for next week. So because I always like the fire decks, always love the fire decks, but this one is quite nice. I think it's a really good utility card, primarily because you get a 700% attack increase. So the battle skill for this ultimate form will increase Light Slayer's attack by 700% for 1 turn. Then it will also create 50 light power gem 7s. It's got a 3 turn cooldown, which is quite nice. It's a Slayer event, so 3 turn cooldown is nothing new. On attack, this is the first passive. On attack, the first passive will heal for 8000% of hero's recovery. Then it has a second passive that will cleanse 1 debuff. Is it 1 debuff from the entire team, or is it 1 debuff from one card? It doesn't stipulate, but I'm assuming it's 1 debuff from the entire team, because if it was 1 debuff from one card, it would stipulate 1 debuff from one member of the team. So I'm just taking it as it's 1 debuff from the entire team. So that's quite nice. We have got Chaos this week. Now, what will happen is with your passive that cleanses 1 debuff, it is at the start of each turn. Now, I've mentioned it many times before that Chaos actually, when you're hit with Chaos, it actually happens at the end of the turn. So Chaos will kick in at the end of the turn, and then it will be cleansed at the beginning of the next turn after it's basically destroyed the entire board. So Chaos is one that you want to dispel, especially if you're using cards that's gonna create power gems passively at the end of the turn. If you've got cards that are gonna create power gems passively at the beginning of the turn, you don't have to worry too much about Chaos, because it will be cleansed by the ultimate form if you have the ultimate form at the beginning of each turn. So that's okay. Thorns. What do I think of Thorns? Before, many moons ago, a long time ago, I used to hate Thorns, but nowadays Thorns is not too bad because we've got loads of cards that give us revive. We have loads of cards that will dispel Thorns, will cleanse, it will cleanse debuffs as well. So Thorns is not too bad. Plus, we have got loads of cards that gives us heal. So Thorns affect your health. It will take your health quite the way down. It will take you almost to probably 1 or 2% of your maximum health, and then when you get hit by the boss, you'll die. But if you've got a reasonable heal and recovery, you won't die that easily. Plus, as I said, we have loads of cards that give us revive, so if you die, you'll just revive with maximum health. So Thorns isn't too bad, but Chaos is the one that you need to get rid of every single turn. Anytime you get hit with Chaos, you need to dispel it. However, you've got we're in a Slayer event, so we only get it every other turn, and it's just every other turn the bosses will be able to apply their debuff. So all in all, it's not gonna be too bad, this event. So this is quite a nice ultimate form, quite a nice utility card. I am doing videos on how to play for new players, and for all the new players, this is a card or an ultimate form that would be beneficial for your collection going forward. As I said, it cleanses, it creates power gems, and it gives you a boost. So it's quite a nice utility card to have in your pack. You don't need it at 6 pink star. This one, as I said, is a utility card, so 1 pink star is enough. This is your Master Collection card. The Master Collection card, I think, is the best of the 2 cards that you can get. So the ultra rare, we're gonna take a look at ultra rare soon. The Master Collection card creates 15 light power gem 6s, 3 turn cooldown. It's got 2 passive, one of which heals, and the second one that cleanses 1 debuff at the start of each turn. So that is quite good. It also dispels chaos. So this is a nice ultimate form. It doesn't give you any boosts, but it's quite nice. Now taking a look at the ultra rare, which I'm so disappointed in the ultra rare. The ultra rare is absolutely disappointing. The ultra rare is where the ultimate form gets part of its skill. So the part of the skill that the ultimate form actually inherits from the ultra rare is a part that gives you the increase. Now the ultimate form increases light slayer attack by 700%, while the ultra rare does it for 300%. Why does the ultra rare gives you less than half of the buff that ultimate form gives you is beyond me. It should actually give you 700% attack increase, just like the ultimate form, because that's where the ultimate form actually gets half its skill from. It gets half its skill from the Master Collection card. The half that it gets is the ability to actually generate 15 power gem. It generates power gem 7s. The Master Collection card generates power gem 6s, but both cards generate 15 light power gems, which is quite nice. This one gives you 300% attack increase. It's the first time I've ever seen the ultimate form actually inherit something from the ultra rare, and it's inherited a far better skill than what is on the ultra rare. The ultra rare should actually have 700%, just like the ultimate form. But I realize what Network is doing. Network didn't give the ultra rare the ability to boost your cards by 700%, because if you put one ultra rare on board alongside the ultimate form, you've got 1400% attack increase. Now with the likes of Area, Perceptive Guru, you've got some really serious attack boosts going on there. But if you take a look at a card like Supreme Santa, when you get up to a certain amount of intensity, you can actually give your deck over 5,000% attack increase. So what's the problem? I see no problem with 2 cards being on your deck, being able to give your deck a 1400% attack increase. This is absolutely a shame. This ultra rare is very, 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 very disappointing from where I'm sitting. It's got 1 passive ability that cleanses 1 debuff. It doesn't create any power gems. This is a very disappointing ultra rare. An ultra rare card is a card that is very difficult to come by unless you're gonna spend ton loads of gems, or you get lucky like I got lucky on tier 4 to get an ultra rare. An ultra rare is very difficult to come by. That's what it's called, ultra rare. It is very rare to get. But this one is so disappointing. The only point of this ultra rare is actually to craft the ultimate form. Very, very disappointing. Now the main hero is worthy of being mentioned this week. It creates 7 light power gem 4s. It's got a 3 turn cooldown, and its passive heals you for 2000% of hero recovery. I think that's quite nice. Not brilliant, but it is nice, especially for somebody who's just starting out in the game, who hasn't got a massive collection. This card will actually enable them to actually take part in the event. They're never gonna place high on the solo leaderboard if you haven't got a really decent collection of cards. But to have a decent collection of cards, you have to play this game for no less than 18 months to have a really decent collection of cards. I've been in the game for a while. I'm still struggling some of the time to come up with cards because I haven't got all the cards that are available in the game. So this is quite nice. This one dispels chaos. Let's look at what the ultra rare actually dispels. The ultra rare dispels fear. Now what is fear? Fear is a debuff that basically your cards, if it get hit with fear, you lose your battle meter. So that's where you power up your cards that it's able to use. You lose that. So fear is one as well that you want to dispel. So thorns are gonna be a buff for the boss, so don't worry too much about thorns. The two that you should worry most about is fear and chaos. Those are the two debuffs that's gonna be the ones that you need to focus your attention on dispelling. Now the ultimate relic did manage to get it at 2 pink star, which is quite nice, and it does the same thing. It increases attack to applicable era by 3279. It if at least 4 power gems exist on the board, it creates 1 light power gem 2s. Increases attack of this relic by extra 100%, increases HP of all applicable era by 8.77%. So what that will do, it will take the total health of the team and it will be 8% of that. So say the team's health was say it was 1,000, it would be 87.7. So 87.7 extra HP would be added to that, making it just over 1087.7 HP. It also creates 5 light gems at the beginning of the battle as long as you've got a Slayer Immortal Killer on board. It's got Immortal Killer intensity, so this one will give you 6 Immortal Killer's intensity, which is quite good because we're gonna need Immortal intensity for one of the deck combination that I'm gonna show you. There's a card that I've never really spoken much about this card because I hated this card. I did get it. It was a card from the New Dawn season. We're gonna look at that card soon, and it breaks 3 immortal shields plus 1 per light ultimate hero on the team, so that's quite nice. The more pink star you have, the more shields you can break. So this one has got 2 pink stars, so it breaks 3 shields plus 1 extra per light immortal, not immortal killer, but light ultimate deck, ultimate cards on board. Getting on between this up. So the more ultimate forms you got on the team, the more shields this relic will break. So let's take a look at some booster cards. So booster cards that you can use, you've got Guru Patriarch, Perceptive Guru. The Perceptive Guru, this is a card that you don't really need to power up if it's on your team. If it's on your team, it's primarily there to boost your Immortal Killer. The Immortal Killer boost comes from the passive, and the passive, the criteria to activate to tap into the passive is to get hit by the boss. So this one will turn your deck into a 3-turn deck. So you pop all the cards on turn 0. You don't need to activate any cards unless you've got cards that you need to activate on turn 0 that will produce gems probably passively. You got your second turn where again you don't need to do much unless you've got cards that you need to activate that does something on the next turn. On turn 2, at the end of turn 2, you'll get hit by the boss, and that is when this will kick in. Fatal Grasp, the passive on Guru Patriarch. When attacked by an enemy, it increases Immortal Killer's attack by 1200% and gain 15% damage reduction for your next turn. Cooldown is 1. We're in a Slayer event, so 1 turn cooldown is quite nice, but you won't be able to get that boost until you get hit again. But this one is quite nice to add to the team. Combining the Ultra Rare and the Master Collection and the Ultimate form for the current deck will not get you 1200% increase. So this will give you a 1200% increase alongside the current Ultimate form that will give you 1900% attack increase. So that's not too bad for a Fire Commander card. Now let's move on to this one. This one is a dragoon. I like dragoons. Dragoons are quite nice because they can be specialized, and when they're specialized you can specialize them to do different things. This one is specialized, well, it isn't specialized, it's just ascended, but it can be specialized to do other things than this. But I think this is, if I'm going to specialize it, I'm going to keep this passive. What the passive does, it gives 100% damage buff to the first hero each turn to activate their battle skill. Now, if you want to look at the relative difference between attack and damage, so 100% damage is equal to almost 1000% attack increase. That's just a rough calculation on my observation, because using a card like this one, High Performance Unit Area and Metaverse Master gives 150% damage increase, and High Performance Unit Area gives you 2500% attack increase. And when you're using these two cards, if you say remove Metaverse Master, look at the reduction of your damage output, then add it again and remove High Performance Unit Area and look at the reduction on your damage output, you can see the relative difference between your attack and your damage. So I would say the 150% damage increase is it's just a bit bigger than the attack, which is 2500% that comes from High Performance Unit Area. But bear in mind, some of these cards have been stealth nerfed. Let's move back to Flora. So Flora will give 100% damage increase to the first hero to activate their battle skill on that turn or on the next turn. So this one, you could add it to your deck. It's not one that you need to power up. You just need to activate a card, the card that's going to be your main damage dealer, and she will give 100% damage increase to that card. So that's one that you could use as well. So these two cards are two cards that if they're on your deck, you don't need to add any relics to power them up. They'll just work just like that because it's their passive you're actually relying on. However, High Performance Unit Area is totally different. This one is quite good. It's good in the sense that it gives you 2500% attack increase, and that attack increase lasts for 3 turns. So as long as you fulfill the criteria, you've got that 2500% attack increase for 3 turns, which is quite good. So you can actually activate your cards on the second turn after you've been hit, the third turn after you've been hit, or even on the turn that you're going to activate your battle skill again. As long as you've got supercharge active, you can do that. So this one is quite nice. It's got a 3 turn cooldown as well, making it quite useful. However, it doesn't work with every single deck because it's a dark commander card, so you have to be producing dark power gems or dark gems to actually power it up, and that's where this card actually comes into its own. So this card works quite well with this one. They work as a team because Metaverse Master has got haste, so it starts with its battle skill fully charged. And what this one will do, it will give 150% the damage increase to the first card to activate its battle skill afterwards. So this one is quite similar to this one in the way that it passes on the damage. However, this one you have to activate its battle skill. So this one needs to be powered up as well. So on the first turn it does power up itself because it's got ace, but all subsequent turns afterward you need to get its skill powered up, and that's where this one comes in handy because this one produces power gems and gems each time you attack, so you will get a constant production of gems and power gems from High Performance Unit Area. So this one will power up High Performance Unit Area on your first activation, and High Performance Unit Area will aid Metaverse Master to actually aid Metaverse Master in powering up its battle skill. So both cards work really well, and between both of them they give your deck quite a big boost. So those are two nice booster cards that you can use with the current event deck. Now let's move on to some really useful cards. Now these are 4 cards that will give you the killer skill, the oldest of which is Swine Lord Strike Team. Now Swine Lord Strike Team it's the first light Immortal Killer ultimate form, so it's really old. It creates 4 light power gem 4s and 3 light power gem 2s, and it becomes immune to enemy damage for 1 turn. So it's an immunity card, so it's got a 5-turn cooldown. It's got a revive as well, and it's got the passive ability. When an enemy casts a debuff, it gains Fortitude buff. Fortitude buff reduces damage taken by 5% for 3 turns. It's got another one that heals, so when an enemy casts a buff, it heals for 1000% of your recovery. Plus it's got the ability to give you an ultimate gem, which is absolute garbage. Ultimate gem doesn't pack the same punch as it used to when it first came out. So the next one up is this one, Lustrious Super Knight. So I'm gonna spend a bit of time on this card. Now this card came out 2 Christmas prior, so not last year but the year before, when we got the New Dawn season. Now the New Dawn season was one of the worst season ever in the history of Legendary. It was a season that everybody in the game was unhappy, and a lot of people actually left the game because of New Dawn season. So New Dawn season is a season where you got, whenever you were able to get ultimate form, you actually got a 6 pink star ultimate form. So you didn't need to get 6 master collection card and 6 ultra rare to get a 6 pink star ultimate form. You just needed to get 1 copy of the main hero and 1 copy of the ultra rare. So they done away with master collection cards. So during that season we didn't have master collection card, we didn't have the vaults anymore. We went back to packs. So you had the main pack, which was where you got your main hero. You had the ultra pack, which was where you got your ultimate, your ultra rare, and you had your, I think you had the supporting pack. You had 3 pack, yeah. You had the support pack where you got your support card and your ultra hero, I think. Can't remember, but I know you had 3 pack. You had 1 pack where, yeah, 1 pack where you got your support hero and your ultra rare, 1 pack where you got your main hero, and the final pack was where you would get your relic. So here in the United Kingdom, the first pack would come out on the Wednesday, the next one came out on the Thursday, and the last one came out on the Friday. Not like now, you've got the vault where you get everything from the vault on the Wednesday, which is quite brilliant. That was how it was at the beginning when I started out in Legendary. You had 3 packs that came out over 3 days, and the last day you would get the relic. Then they changed it to the vault, which, oh, that was an absolute genius. The person who came out with that idea was an absolute genius to give us the vault where everything is available in the vault. And that's where you got the introduction of season coins as well. Before season coins, we actually had dust. I've still got some dust in my inventory. One of these days I'll show you new guys what we used to use to craft ultimate forms when you weren't able to get them from the vault. You used to use dust. But during that season, you only got 6 pink star ultimate forms. So you only needed 1 ultra rare and 1 main hero. It was quite expensive because each pack you started at 300 gems, and then it went up, and nothing was actually guaranteed apart from the support hero. So the relic wasn't guaranteed, the main hero wasn't guaranteed, nothing was guaranteed. So it was quite expensive, and you had to get really lucky to actually get an ultimate form. I was lucky to get 2 ultimate form during that season, one of which was Lustrious Super Knight. Now Lustrious Super Knight wasn't really that good when it came out because it was part of a rainbow gem deck. Now up until Metaverse Master, rainbow gem decks were absolutely garbage, apart from the first rainbow gem deck that we got, which was the what is called again, Amy. I think it was the Amy deck. The first rainbow deck was an Amy deck. If you had 3 Amy and 2 overcharged rainbow, which was the ultra rare, you could do serious damage. After that, all the rainbow gem deck after that was absolute garbage. This one is no exception. But today, I think Metaverse Master brings this one to life, and I'm gonna talk you through this one. It heals for 5000% of your recovery. It converts and upgrades 5 non-light power gems into light power gems of 1 level higher, plus 1 additional power gem converted per 25 Immortal Killer's intensity. So this one is intensity dependent, and that's the reason why I'm saying it's really good to have your relic that gives you 6 Immortal Killer's intensity, because using this card on any deck that you're gonna use during this event, you would need 6 Immortal Killer relic on board. If they are ultimate relics, that's even better, because you'll get 6 from each one, which will give you 30 Immortal Killer's intensity per turn. This one will give you 6 as well, because it's an ultimate form. So this one will give you 6. That's 36 you're going to generate. If you've got more ultimate Immortal Killer ultimate form on board, each one will give you 6. So you're generating quite a bit of intensity. So that means this card, by the time you get up to the 6th turn, will be converting quite a bit of the non-light gems into light gems. As it's a 16th star, but its base damage and its base health is not as high as the cards now. It's quite low for a 6 pink star ultimate form, which is part of the reason why I didn't like this. I don't like this card. All right, let's move on. It's got a passive. If the entire board has been converted to rainbow in 1 turn, it decreases damage taken by 25% for 2 turns. That can be quite useful, but the one that I find that is really useful is the last passive. If the entire board has been converted to rainbow in 1 turn, increases Immortal Killer's attack by 300%. Now that one is quite useful. Now combining this card with Metaverse Master, now you've got a team. So before Metaverse Master, this card was absolutely useless, and I've been waiting on this event to use this card with Metaverse Master to actually make this card quite usable, because Metaverse Master is able to convert the entire board on turn 0 to a full board of rainbow gem, which actually fulfills the criteria for this passive, Tag Team. Now Tag Team will kick in and give you 300% attack increase. Now you've got an ultimate form that's gonna give you 700%, which is the current ultimate form. So along with the current ultimate form and this one, you've got 1000% attack increase. Combine that with 150 that you're getting from Metaverse Master, you've got a really decent attack increase. Now if you've got high performance unit area on board, then things get a bit more complicated, because high performance unit area, you'll have to wait until you get hit. Now with Metaverse Master creates rainbow gems every 5 turns. So what would you have to do? You would have to wait until turn 3. When you get turn 2, when you get hit, you get your supercharge. You wait until turn 5, you'll still have your supercharge. You activate Metaverse Master. Metaverse Master on that turn will give you a board of rainbow gem, which will give you that 300% attack increase from Lustrious Super Knight. You activate Metaverse Master, that will give you the 150% at damage increase. You activate this card, it's gonna convert and upgrade a certain amount of power gems, because that would be turn 5, so you would have generated quite a bit of Immortal Killer intensity. So it would convert probably about 10 to 12. You could use Amy's Sword of Excellence as well to convert the rest, and this card will do pretty nice damage. The only thing I find with this card, which I hate about all the ultimate forms from the New Dawn season, is this: you are unable to awaken this card. Any ultimate form from the New Dawn season, you are unable to awaken any of those cards. So this one is unable to be awoken, so I can't awaken this card, which is absolute rubbish. It's garbage. That's something that network needs to have a look at. So that's one card that I think will work pretty well for those of us who actually got it during the New Dawn season. If you didn't get it during the New Dawn season, you won't be able to get this card ever. That was part of the agreement that network made with the community. Silent Night was the ultimate form for last Christmas. So this was the Christmas deck for last year. It's a nice one. I've got it awoken 3 times. It's at 3 pink stars, and what it actually does, it creates 8 light power gem 6s and increase light slayer's attack by 20% for 1 turn. It's got a 1 turn cooldown, so every single turn you can activate the battle skill of this card. Whenever another light slayer activates their battle skill, it creates 1 light power gem 6, so it can create an extra 5 light power gem 6s. So that will give you 13 light power gem 6s if you've got 5 light heroes on board a deck with this on it. Next passive, whenever this hero attacks, it heals for 1000% of your recovery for each light slayer that attacks alongside. So if you got 5 light slayer hero on board, you'll actually heal for 5000% of your recovery. Now this one dispels traitor. There is no traitor this week, so that is not. And the current ultimate form. Those are the 4 cards that will give you the killer skill. Let's look at some more useful cards. So you got this one. This one is a reset card, Bewitching Conjurer, so it can reset itself. It creates 4 light power gem 6s and increase light slayer's attack by 20% for 1 turn. Can be reset, and once per turn, when you get a gem crush, it refreshes this hero's battle skill and it's ready to use again. So once you get a gem crush, this card will create 8 light power gem 6s, and it will increase Immortal Killer light slayer's attack by 40% when you activate the battle skill twice. Now it's got 3 passive on board, first of which is this card cannot be silenced. The second one, it creates 2 extra light power gem 6s at the start of each turn. It cleanses 1 debuff from each light slayer at the start of the turn as well. So this cleanses at the start of a turn, just like the current ultimate form. However, this one has got a 3 turn cooldown, while the current ultimate form hasn't got any cooldown, so it happens every single turn. So this one is not too bad as well. It's something that you could use if you haven't got anything better. Next one is Enlightened Disciples. Enlightened Disciples have got that bonus attack, so for 1 turn increases light slayer's attack by 40% and gains the bonus attack buff, and double the gems created by Masters of Element for 1 turn. It's got 2 turn cooldown, and Masters of Element is the last passive on board. So on attack, it converts all non-light power gems to light power gems, then creates 3 light power gem 6s. So if you activate the battle skill on attack, it will create 6 light power gem 6s. A second passive, it creates 2 light power gem 7s each time a battle skill is activated. So this one is okay, but it's not brilliant. It's not a brilliant ultimate form. Trap Masters. So Trap Masters create 8 light power gem 6s and increase light slayer's attack by 80% for 4 turn. It becomes immune to enemy damage for 1 attack. It's got 4 turn cooldown, and at the start of the battle it creates 6 light power gem 6s. So that only happens once. It's at the start, but the second passive happens whenever this hero attacks. So every time you attack, it will create an extra 7 light power gem 6s at the end of the turn. So these ones will be destroyed by chaos if you get hit by chaos. It's got haste on it as well, so the battle skill, you start the battle with your battle skill filled and ready to be used. So that's one. That one is quite nice. I like that one. Drake Patriarchs. So this one will create 7 light power gem 7s. If an attack or damage buff is active, it upgrades all light power gem to 1 by 1 rank. So you activate this card. If you activate this card when there is an attack buff present or an attack buff happens afterward, it will just upgrade all light power gems on the board to 1 rank. So that's quite nice. Nice card to use. It also heals for 5,000% of heals for 5,000% of your recovery if an attack or damage buff is activated at the start of each turn. Next one. At the start of every third turn, it increases Light Slayer's attack by 115% for 3 turns. So that's not too bad. This one counters poison and gem silence. So the next one up is Supreme Elohim. Supreme Elohim increases Light Slayer's attack by 140% for 3 turns and creates 6 light power gem 5s. The passive is quite nice, where it creates 2 light power gem 4s every time an attack or damage buff is activated. This can trigger unlimited times per turn and scale infinitely. The next passive, at the end of each turn, it heals for 2000% of your recovery if you are affected by an attack or damage buff. This one dispels, it counters panic. Some more cards that you can use, but these ones are all commander cards, but I think they can be used. I think they can be quite useful. This one, Outcast Alliance. Outcast Alliance will create 10 light power gem 7s now and at the start of the next 3 turns. It becomes immune to element damage as well. So this one will give you at least 10 power gem 7s every turn as long as you keep activating the battle skill. So that's something you could add to get extra power gem if you haven't got anything else. Sunburst Siblings. Sunburst Siblings is quite nice because it cleanses 1 debuff from each, well, it only cleanses 1 debuff from each light commander, so it won't cleanse anything from your slayers, but it actually dispels 1 enemy buff, so it doesn't matter what affinity the enemy is, it just cleanses the buff I mean. But the good thing about this one is that it creates 8 light power gem 7s at the start of each turn. Don't worry about the damage boost. The self-damage boost isn't going to work very well because this card is actually a commander card. So commander cards don't work as well in Slayer events, but if you can get the damage high enough, which it's a chaotic killer, I don't think you will, it's not going to do that much damage. But it's something that you could use to give you a bit of extra power gems on the board if you haven't got anything else. Dances of the Departed. This is a commander card as well, but this one will give you 15 light power gem 7s. And it will heal you for 4,000% of your recovery. On attack, it creates an extra 6 light power gem 6s. It gives you a revive and it gives you a last stand. So this one is quite nice. So whenever revive or last stand is used, it upgrades all light power gems by 3 rank. So if you die, this will upgrade all the power gems on the board to 3 rank. So that's something that you could consider to use as well. Last but not least is Starsong Wolfpack, which is quite good. It's a card that's going to upgrade all light power gems to 2, I think it's 2 rank. So it creates 7 light power gem 6s and increases light gem falls stack by 40% for 1 turn. It upgrades all light power gems by 2 ranks. So this one is, out of all those commander cards, I think that one is the best one to add to your deck. That one is. The 2 last one, Dancers of the Departed and Starsong Wolfpack, are 2 cards that you could add to your current deck to give yourself a bit more power gems and higher level power gems. So those 2 cards should not be discounted. They are something that could work very well. So you could do something like this and focus all your damage onto the current ultimate form, or you could change it up. You could try using, say, Lustrious Super Knight as well on board, but you can play around the deck. This week deck combination should be fun, so I will try and do possible deck combination tomorrow. No promises, but I will try and do possibility combination tomorrow. It should be fun because we've got a lot of cards to play around with, but this is one combination that you could try out. To start the event, you could start the event with something like, say, this, because when you start the event, you're going to need to farm your bosses up to, you need to get them up to prestige 7, so this will prestige them up quite quickly. Alright, so those are some of the cards and some of the possible deck combination. Tomorrow we'll do possible deck combination, see how we get on with the combinations that we can come up with. Should be fun, should be really fun. Yeah, really fun it should be tomorrow. Alright, so that's all I've got for you. If you've got a question, you can leave it in the comment section below, or you can look me up on the network app at Octane Mobile Gaming. A few people have contacted me on the network app. Took me a while to get back to them because I don't really use the app quite quickly. I don't often use the app, so I didn't see it as quickly as I should have. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up an account online just for the channel Octane Mobile Gaming. So I'll post that as soon as I've got that up and running, and you can basically drop me a link there with any questions, comments, suggestion, whatever you want to talk about, cards, whatever, on that as soon as that is up and running. The videos that I'm making, they'll be out soon, so I'm focusing on GVG attack, GVG defense. I'm focusing on your daily quests, your relics, your event deck, your cards you should upgrade, cards you shouldn't upgrade, cards to keep, cards to get rid of. It's gonna be quite a lot of videos that I'm bringing out, especially for new players, so look out for those. And until next time, when we meet again on the next video, might be a possible combination tomorrow. This is Octane saying, like, subscribe, leave a comment below, hit the notification bell as well. Have a great afternoon and peace.